more on this, I'd like to welcome in Steve Vilchez, who attends Illinois State University. You've had your own student loan journey throughout the last couple of years. Thanks for being with us, Steve. You started at the University of Chicago, and as I understand, you had some scholarships there. Tell me what your experience has been in trying to pay for college so far.
Right. So I did attend the University of Chicago on a scholarship, which covered just about everything except for textbooks and personal expenses. And for textbooks, each semester I paid around $300, $400, $500, which to some college students may not sound like a lot, but for me, a low-income college student, it was definitely a lot of pocket change. And once I transferred to Illinois State, my scholarship voided. So now I am responsible for everything, for room, boarding, meals, tuition, textbooks. This semester alone, I already paid upwards of $500 on just textbooks, and I already took out $8,000 on loans, and that I have to pay in its entirety with the interest added on as well. And given that I still have about 2 years left of college before I graduate, I'm going to be looking at excess of around $20,000, $25,000 of student loan debt by the time I graduate.
Wow.
And it's something that makes me a little bit.
It's a big fee. Yeah. What's the burden on you? I mean, for a college student, you've got the stress of studying, right? Doing well, figuring out what your next phase of life looks like. To have this much on your plate to pay for, how do you manage all of that?
It's very concerning for me, especially as a low-income person. I do not want to bring my family's income into this because they're already so much involved with our house's income, with their mortgage, their rent, their utilities. And to add on my brothers in college as well, and I don't want them to be focused on, can I afford to pay my brothers and my college expenses alongside their current household income? And it's something that makes me feel very nervous because now I have to pay all this money, and the last thing I want is to bring my parents into this and have them worry about me when they should be worried about just their household income and not just my college expenses as well.
So do you know yet, Steve, if you will fall into the category that's included in this new plan for forgiveness?
I'm not sure, but I am aware that President Biden has made it clear that he does want to involve people interested in teaching and education as those being involved in the loan forgiveness. And given that my current major is biology teacher education, as far as I'm aware, it looks like that I might be one to receive Biden's loan forgiveness.
And you have some other concerns as well around a plan like this. One is the concern over the rising costs and how do we pay for something like this? Can you elaborate on what you're worried about?
Yeah, as we know, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Biden's action of the student loan forgiveness and the equal and opposite reaction would be interest might have to go up, how the economy might have to change to make up for the money that Biden is forgiving. So that means the interest might have to go up, inflation might go up, and prices might go up. And we saw how groceries were so expensive 2 years ago or even last year. And the same thing about gas. We saw how these prices were becoming very in some ways unaffordable for even average American consumers. And given that the economy is such an important issue for 2024 voters, doing this on Biden's part in the short term looks positive, but this may jeopardize his chances of re-election.
You know, I'm curious, as you hang out with students that you're going to school with, how big of a part of the conversations student loan and concerns about it is. How often are you guys talking about it and kind of sharing notes on how you all are getting through?
So we have a social media class for everyone that's in the current class of 2026. And there I see about a few posts every day, about 20, 25 a week, where we have students issuing their concerns about if they're going to be able to afford this, how they're taking out so much on loans. I see the common complaints that students don't want to bring in their parents or bring in their family into this because they don't want them to increase the burdens on not just themselves, but now their family members as well.
Yeah, well, Steve, it sounds like you are thinking about all the aspects of this, those that would benefit you and those that would be concerning for others. I appreciate talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.